All right, who's trying to talk spirituality and how I found it? Because lots of people are often asking me about this. Well, finally, here is the talk that so many of you guys wanted to know, and that is how I started my spiritual journey and how I began to develop this like really deep faith in the universe's work and just allowing things to happen at their own pace. Now, to give you a bit of a backstory, I was raised a Catholic, so we went to church. I received my sacraments. Like we weren't super religious in my household, but we definitely did like uphold a certain standard of Catholicism, and so that's just like how I was raised. Now, as I got older, I naturally just started like exploring like what spirituality was and crystal healing. And me and my friends in high school would go and we would go to this crystal shop that was pretty close to our high school, and I just would read what these healing crystals were supposed to do, and you know. being, being the soul searcher and the lover that I am, I acquired a lot of rose quartz throughout my time, and then as I got even older, lots of citrine, because who doesn't want money and love, right? But that was kind of like the basis and the minimum of really what I was doing and how I was exploring this. It really wasn't taken as seriously as I take it now, which that kind of occurred about 5 months ago is when I really started taking, my spiritual journey seriously and really trying to become like in tune with the craziness that is the universe. So, like 5 months ago, I would say I probably was, I mean, not probably, like I definitely was overcoming one of the darker parts of my life. I realized that I was in a relationship, a long-term relationship that wasn't serving me. And I was really trying to find my inner peace and figure out how I could find the will and the strength to move from that, because and we can talk about this another time, but because that's a whole other story. But I was in a position where I had it instilled in my head that I would never find love and I would never be happy again. And a lot of that was attributed to the toxicity that was being like dropped on me every single day, right? So, kind of very oddly enough, one day I woke up and I was just like, I think it's time, right? So time that I slowly start to disconnect myself from this person, because I realized that, sorry guys, side note, I just looked up, like I'm trying not to look at the viewfinder, and it said 333. So I know what I'm doing. I'm supposed to be doing this, but wow, okay. Basically, one day I woke up and I realized that, I wasn't living my life to the best of its ability. And I wasn't doing that, whether it was mental health wise, physical health wise. I just kind of was able to really take a step back and see, like, okay, I need to actively start doing what is right for me and what is going to be best for me. And the first step of that was saying, okay, I need to distance myself from this person that I've been in a relationship with for so long. We came to the conclusion, it was like, okay, well, we'll take a break, right? So this was about 6-7 months ago. And I just slowly started to talk to him less and less, and really find my voice and just say like, hey, I'm sorry, this is so hard for you, but I need time. I need to find myself. I've lost myself, and you need to accept that, because at this point it's non-negotiable. Like I'm done sacrificing who I am to make you happy. So then after that, it was weird. I started to feel this like sense of peace that I've never had, you know, and I started to be able to see things a lot more clearly. And it's funny because, you know, my primary platform is TikTok. So from the moment I entered Witch Talk, right, if you guys are from TikTok, you know exactly what side of TikTok that is. I started getting these people who would talk about astrology, which I was already into, but I had never really like read on it and understood my signs and understood what that meant, and talking about the phases of the moon and how that impacted us, understanding what 5D thinking was and what this shift meant and what life path numbers meant. And I really just fell down this hole, right? This hole of just how do I utilize this way of thinking to continue my journey. And when I say I began to feel a physical shift, I don't know how else to like explain that. It literally is like as I continued to research what spirituality was and all these aspects that went along with it, I physically started to feel different and my soul started to feel lighter. So then my really close friend gave me her psychic's number, and I was like, you know, I really do trust this stuff. I feel like I'm lucky enough that I grew up with a family, and my mom specifically, who's very open-minded to a lot of these things. So we would sage when, you know, we felt like there was something off, and I've always been really in tune with just like spirits and all this stuff. So I'm lucky enough that I grew up in a house that was pretty open-minded regardless of our Catholic upbringing. And so I called my psychic, and this was the first call I ever had with her, and that was when I was still kind of trying to distance myself from my ex, and I was struggling because, you know, it was a struggle between, you know, the new way of thinking, which is kind of like what I physically felt like my soul was being drawn to, and the old pattern that I was used to. She was like, when I see your energy, you're this bright light, you know, you walk into a room and you're seen, and you don't necessarily mind it, and that's, you know, not a bad thing. But she was like, but I feel like you've been in a situation for a very long time that is as if I was trying to put this very bright light in a playpen and stop it from reaching its full potential. And what's wild is that this was literally the first words she's ever said to me. So when she said that, I knew that was my relationship that I was trying to get out of, and it confirmed that I was on the right track. And so she started to talk to me about just my past and past lives, and really just help me understand, you know, I've had 2 calls with her, so within that time frame, she's helped me understand, you know, what I need to do to move forward, what I need to do to find love, success. And she assured me, you know, during that first call, that what I wanted to do, what my soul was physically drawing me to do, which is so crazy, guys, because I'm telling you, like, when I've had people ask me, what was your spiritual journey, what invoked this awakening, and it was just like, I honestly don't know. I just woke up one day and I was like, you know, I need to start fulfilling myself and my life, and loving myself again, because I really was just over it at that point. After that first call, I knew that I was on the right track, right? So I continued to say like, hey, to my ex, and say, hey, this is really it. I'm sorry. I'm letting you go with all the love and respect that I can, regardless of all the horrible, awful things you've put me through and you've said to me. I have no resentment towards you, and I really want you to be happy. That was so hard for me to do, but I'm so happy I did it. And it was only hard because to forgive someone that did what he had done to me over the years, it wasn't easy, but doing it was like the best decision I made, because I felt my karma like be better, if that makes sense. Because I didn't actively put negative back into that situation. I actively put positive into that situation, and let it go with respect. So that was a big step for me. And after that, guys, I started seeing angel numbers everywhere. And when I tell you, like, yeah, okay, like, we're kids and we're like, oh, 1111, make a wish. Like, I already knew that stuff. But when I started just, like, looking down at my phone and seeing, like, 1111, or everywhere I looked, it was always, for the longest, until recently, they started changing, but 1111, 222, 444 was what I saw. And I started seeing it everywhere. And that's when I researched it. And it was like, wow, like, that's a sign from the universe, you're on the right track. And I was like, holy shit. This is all I needed to see to validate that I'm doing things that are right, you know, and because I never saw this stuff before. So then I had my second call with my psychic in May. And she told me all this amazing stuff, but one of the things she told me was, Jana, your sixth chakra is open. And she's like, that's your third eye. Your intuition right now is amazing. And it's crazy because I felt that. I literally was feeling that every day when I would come to a situation. For example, like, let's say my ex would text me and just be like, I really miss you and I want to talk to you and I've changed, right? Because that was his thing. My physical body would react in the most negative way towards that, just like be completely sick from seeing that. And I would just be like, no, you haven't, you know, or no, this isn't right, or no, that's not the truth. And so when she confirmed that my third eye was open, it made sense. Since then, I have actively instilled, you know, these practices where I take a look at a situation and try to see it as objectively as possible and ask myself at the end of literally every new experience, anything, did this affect me in a positive way or did this affect me in a negative way? And then if it was negative, I don't do it again. It has been a really big healing thing for me. And I've been able to overcome, you know, things from trauma in my past, my childhood. I know that this journey isn't over. I just know a lot of you guys want to know, like, the story. This journey isn't over for me. I'll keep you guys up to date as things evolve. But when I say that I feel so light every day and I've never been happier, and as I started to kind of have this new way of thinking, I have never been gifted with so many blessings before. Honestly, I've had an incredible amount of good luck, and after I started fulfilling this journey for myself, I remembered the first call I had with my psychic, and she was like, well, I feel like you should be, we were talking about what I do for a living, and at the time it was PR. And she was like, I feel like, have you ever thought about you having your own platform? And I was like, yeah, I have, but I've never, like, gone through with it. And she said, she goes, well, go through with it. And she goes, what were you thinking? And I originally was like, oh, well, I really love beauty. And she goes, no, like, you're destined to do more than that. And so, crazy enough, when I found this inner peace and this self-love within me through my spiritual journey, and I started sharing that messaging with you guys and sharing my story with you guys, because I knew that there are girls out there and guys that have gone through situations like myself, and want to achieve even the small amount of success that I've achieved thus far, like when it comes to, like, inner peace. And I started sharing that. That's when you guys started coming and following me and telling me how much of an impact I've made on your lives. And I'm so grateful. Like, I know I'm fulfilling my purpose. That's a little bit about my spiritual journey. I'll try not to keep it too long, but yeah, so I just really try to just be as at peace as possible, do what makes me happy. Do I pay attention to the new moon and charge my crystals when when there's a new moon? Yes. Do I try to learn how to do tarot readings on myself? Yes. And I think they're getting better, and my intuition has still remained the same, and I'm still seeing angel numbers every day. And you just saw, I saw it like a second ago. So it's just, everything is happening the way it's meant to be. And I am so at peace and so grateful. So if you guys want to comment down below and let me know about your self-spiritual journeys and what you guys are going through, I would love to talk about it, because I know everyone's journey with spirituality and self-love is different. So leave comments down below and subscribe, of course. I'm really excited to do more of these, you know? And I can't wait to get to know you all so much better and talk more about how all of this is happening, because it's kind of crazy. All right, love you all. Bye.